South Carolina, where some of the DP staffers are in a Hampton Inn near the airport when Marco Rubio comes walking through. I don't know if it's the lobby, is it the lounge, is it the restaurant, but you can watch.
Hello, welcome back. It is Tuesday, March 1st. It's Super Tuesday, and the crowd goes wild. There's a lot of important election news I would like to talk about and discuss, but right now I am on my way to pick up my wife and daughters because, quick story time here, about 2 weeks ago, the transmission in the van went belly up. It died completely, and we had it taken into one garage. They gave us a bill, an estimate of $3,300, but my wife has a friend and a co-worker who recommended we take it to AMCO because they gave them a really good deal and convenient financing and wonderful things, and because I'm a firm believer in the notion that happy wife, happy life. We always listen to my wife's friends and co-workers on these deals. So we had the van taken to AMCO, and they got it fixed in about 5 days, and it worked for about 4 days, and then it once again left her stranded by the side of the road. And so that's back at the AMCO garage, and hopefully we'll be ready. It was supposed to be ready today. Hopefully it will be ready tomorrow. And so that's using up a lot of time, doing a lot of extra driving around back and forth. But it is March 1st, and so I want to talk about the fact that we've closed out another month, 2 months of the Arandanaut2016 Challenge, 2016 miles, trying to run by the end of the year. And things are going very well for me. I have not missed a day yet. I think we're at 337 miles for myself. Michael is struggling. He had not a great February. A lot of things going on in his life, traveling, and that makes it difficult. So maybe he'll shift to 2016 kilometers. Have some other friends who are still hanging in. But I'm doing as well as I have done in a long, long time. And I appreciate all the encouragement and recognition from people who say they're impressed or surprised at the fact that I'm still going. But I thought it would take a minute here to say this did not come out of the blue. It was a long, long time in coming. And so I thought I might tell the story real quickly of my running background and how I come to a place where I can conceivably run every day for a year, or where I can at least where I can reach 2016 miles. Also, by the way, it's March 1st, and it's about 95, 96 degrees here in Palm Springs, and plenty warm. And because I'm recording, I have the windows closed, and so it's really warm. I did not start out as a runner from birth, but racing has always been a close part of my life. As a young boy, my dad raised standard-bred racehorses, although he was a pharmacist. He didn't raise racehorses for a living, but he had some. And I enjoyed going to the track with him and hanging out, watching the horses, and picking horses, sometimes fairly scientifically and sometimes just based on their names. That's another story. I myself probably started racing downhill skiing at the age of like 8 or 9. And then when I was about 11, we moved up north to northern Michigan, and I started racing snowmobiles. Did that for a while. And when I was 14, I started racing motorcycles, motocross, primarily. And in order to do that, I started running as a conditioning exercise to help prepare for motocross racing. And eventually doing that, in my senior year of high school, my friend Jim Gardner convinced me to come out for cross country. And I did that and enjoyed it a lot. But then didn't really do too much more in between 1975, when I ran cross country in high school, went to college. Didn't run too much until about 78, 79, when I met my best friend Tom Francis, and he got me involved in distance running, and this was the top of the running boom. And I did my first 10K in 1979, I think it was, Dowagiac Nike Fair Store race. Just became really involved and active and devoted to running, and loved everything about it. I know in those first couple years I said there was no reason why anyone would ever want to run more than 10K. I think in high school we couldn't figure out how anyone would ever want to run more than 3 miles. But yeah, when I started running 10Ks, we would look at marathoners and the pace they ran for 26 miles and think that was just insane, that no one would ever want to do that. And it took me about 2 or 3 years. It was 1981 when I ran my first marathon. over the next several years, 10 years or so. I ran about, well, probably 7 years. I ran about 10 marathons. Have not done one in a long time, but I've continued to race the odd 10K. Did a lot of 10Ks for about 3 or 4 years in the early 80s. 30 or 40 a year, 10Ks, up to half marathon, 25K, and the 10 marathons. And I have been a runner ever since, never stopped really completely. I always come back to it. I love it. It's a very important part of my life, and I have some good years, some bad years, but now I've settled in. I am much slower than I used to be, but I still enjoy it, still love it. And so trying to run 2016 miles is not out of the blue. I have a long background. I coached cross country when I came out to California. I coached in high school for 16 years, I think. I love running. I could go on and on about it, but that's how I got started and why I have enough background that hopefully we can make 2016 miles. But I realize we are only 2 months in. We are 1/6 of the way through the year. In order to be on pace, I have to hit 502 miles by the end of March. So we will see how that all goes. Do you have any big goals you're working on? Keep me filled in on that. If you're out there running, trying to reach any goal there, I'm especially interested in those. Whatever you're up to, I hope it's going well, better than my transmission problems. So, till next time, don't forget to be awesome, and I will talk to you again soon, hopefully.